Hi there, I'm Brian and welcome to Project RedLeaf, my series of building a sugar shack or a shed from start to finish. And today I'm pleased to say that I have a roof on the top of my head, or over my head. Well, sort of. I have sheathing or plywood on the rafters. Huge milestone, and my goodness, it was hard. Hauling up 4x8 pieces of plywood, half-inch thick, sometimes that were wet, putting it down there, really heavy, really dangerous. But I got it done, and it took me a minute, but I got it in. And now that the sheathing's in there, it gave me a sense of relief that I can kind of take a breather, but I really can't because I was hoping that it'll block out a lot of the water. Yeah, no, it has not blocked the water out. In fact, the water continues to flow right through the gaps that's in between each piece of plywood. You got to leave an eighth of a gap to allow for expansion. And my cupola, well, it's still a hole in the roof. And so I got to seal up that cupola with plywood and make doors to allow venting. So when you make maple syrup, you evaporate a lot of water to create the syrup. And all that water needs a place to go. It needs to go up through the roof. And that's why we have a cupola here. But this building is not just for sugaring. In fact, I'm only going to be using this 1 month out of the year for sugaring. The other 11 months, it's going to be a workshop. It's going to be a nature center, a gathering place, a place for storage, a place for ideas and things, and a place to raise my kids and teach them about nature, science, and exploration. So it's a lot of things going at once, and it's been a lot of work to get here. And let me tell you, I'm tired. I am so tired, but I need to keep pressing on because I just got to finish the roof and I got to seal the building. Once that happens, I am going to take a much needed break, and my family is going to appreciate that quite a bit. And then I'll pick it back up with phase 2, which is building the pavilion outside. So without any further ado, let's check out the work I've done this past week, and then I'll show you what I have in front of me in the weeks to come.
I started by finishing the one side of the roof with the chimney. Once that was done and sheathed, I put plywood on the other side. It takes a long time to put that first row of plywood on, especially if you're by yourself. Once I got it on, I was able to add the second row in and get it all square and straight. I had to adjust a few boards here and there. I couldn't go all the way to the right side of the roof because I needed to add the last rafter that overhangs. And speaking of which, installing an overhang rafter by yourself is a thing. Here's how I did it. Step 1, I added a holder. That gave me leverage so I can pivot the board and lift it up. Step 2, you'll see a small triangle off the ridge beam. That triangle is measured just right, there it is, and that was what's going to hold the rafter in place once I lift it up so I can screw it in with my other hand. And step 3, you pull like there's no other. This is on fast track. I fast forwarded this by like 10 times because it took me a while to get that up. Once I got it up into position, I used my little rafter holder thing and I was able to screw it in, and I had all the screws pre-drilled, so all I had to do was screw it into place. It worked out really well, and I was using a harness just in case I were to fall off the roof. Safety first. Yeah, never again. With the overhang rafter up, I can install the ladder. That's what connected the rest of the rafters to the overhang rafter, and it was secured with the plywood sheathing. Once the sheathing was all done, I trimmed off the sides, the edges. Then I nailed in the rest of the boards. It was a lot of work. This tree seems to be producing the most amount of sap in my whole sugar bush. Look at that guy. It's a red maple, huge crown, large diameter, and just one happy tree. Thank you, tree. It's a losing battle keeping this place clean and during a construction phase because everything becomes a mess. The rain, the water, it's a thing. All right, here's the roof, the sheathing. The cupola, this is going to be filled up with a box. I got my safety rope attached to it. And look at all the gaps there. When I put roofing paper down, it's going to give me a layer of protection. Finally block out some water. And we'll end here for the week. I collected 28 gallons of sap and I converted that in just under a half a gallon of syrup. I'm having a lot of fun with this, but it's a lot of work. Thanks for following my journey, and thanks for watching.
I guess you can say I nailed it. Okay.